Welcome back. I'm Tim Herrera with the Sacramento County Office of Education, here with another Teacher of the Year profile. We're talking with Kenneth Durham Jr. with the Twin Rivers Unified School District. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you teach and what you teach.
This past year I taught at Rio Linda Junior High, Rio Linda Preparatory Academy, and I teach 8th grade physical science. This is my 8th year teaching. First 5 were at the high school level, and the last 3 have been at the junior high level.
What's the difference between high school and junior high that you see? What are the differences for you?
The difference, I think, one of the differences I've noticed is I work a lot harder during the day as a junior high teacher, just managing things that the students haven't yet understood with maturity and age, versus at the high school level where it's much more academic. So I had a lot more work after school, prepping material and getting things ready and staying ahead of the kids.
And you teach social science?
No, science. Science, yeah.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about what you do exactly, what you focus on in your classroom.
The 8th grade physical science is kind of a cross-section of chemistry and physics. There's a little bit of astronomy thrown in there. It's the same curriculum that every 8th grade class in the state actually runs. And it's kind of an introduction to what the students will get in high school.
You're kind of like a foundation, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your feeling as far as science education? Do you feel that we have enough emphasis on science? Do you feel that we're kind of maybe behind a little bit?
I think one of the things that I do different is I try to teach skills, algebra, graphing, math skills, academic vocabulary, writing, being able to write a thesis statement, and the English language art skills, and interweave them with the science. And I find by teaching those skills directly and explicitly that the science becomes easier for the students. So I think by not taking a science-only approach, the students are able to find success faster because they're also doing things that they already understand.
They're applying from other subjects.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's more practical for them.
Exactly, and by making it more practical, I think it's also more enjoyable.
What are some of the challenges that you face in the classroom?
You're always going to have students that, for one reason or another, that you're not able to connect with, and for me, that's the biggest challenge because I work hard to make sure that I can reach every student, and it's just kind of, which key is going to unlock that door for that kid. I don't tend to have a lot of behavior issues in class because I kind of set the foundation that we're here to work, guys, and this is our job, and I'm here to help you. I'm your teacher, but I'm going to make sure that you're helping other students and not hurting other students in the classroom, and for the most part, the kids buy into that.
You talked about finding the key to unlock the motivation. How do you reach out to those students and motivate those that are really challenging to get to?
It's funny. There's a couple of different projects I do throughout the year, and one of them, well, actually, in most of them, I give them the ability to interject information that allows them to explain ideas or concepts in their own voice. And a lot of times what I'll find is that students will maybe take dirt bike riding, and there's their examples. So once I see that, I'm not grading that assignment or project for accuracy. I'm using it as a tool to figure out, all right, what's this kid into? What motivates this student? So then maybe in class I can use more of those types of analogies.
And when you do that, what kind of a light bulb do you see go off on the student?
Oh, just a 180 degree switch. It's just like, wow, he's talking to me now. The students just, I've got 3 daughters, and all 3 of them teach me and show me every day that they just want attention. They want attention, and if I can help them get positive attention and be successful, and I'm giving it to them for that reason, then that works just as much as the other one, the negative side of things.
Now, you say you've taught for 8 years now, is that
Correct.
So in that amount of time, what kind of changes have you seen in education that have kind of made you change what you do?
It's funny. My first year teaching was at Sacramento High School. The year before it became the charter, and there was a phenomenal group of science teachers, and also a group of freshman teachers. We had a house system where 5 teachers worked with 150 students, and there were 3 houses, and so seeing that professional learning and working environment with colleagues that understood that you're a science teacher and you're math and you're English and you're social science or geography, but you're going to work together to help these students, and whatever you do in the class I'm going to support in mine, and whatever you do outside of the class I'm going to support in mine. That kind of set my foundation for what I felt teaching should be, and since then I've worked at a couple of different schools, and it's funny that the naivety of my understanding of how it worked, it was that it was all going to always be that way.
Mm-hmm.
And so going into a school and seeing where everyone wants to go in and close the door and do their thing in their box is kind of on the professional side of me as an educator on a campus and working to be an instructional leader, is breaking that and getting people to see that this job really is about the human resource and not the financial. We can't do anything about how much money we have in the classroom, but we can work together. And so just seeing that still we have teachers that want to not come out or don't know that they can come out and work together in a positive manner to help our students succeed.
So what prompted you to become a teacher? Is this always something you wanted to do?
I growing up grew up in a single parent household, and it was my dad and my 2 brothers, and it just always seemed like there were positive men in my life that came from school, whether it was a teacher or a coach, a scout leader, and growing up in Texas where I grew up, our scout meetings were on a campus site. And so it just was something that I was drawn to. I worked in Twin Rivers, and I worked in Sac City prior to that, and there were a lot of students that come from that kind of background, and being able to help them work their way through these years and understand that there are people out there to help them, and that life's not easy, but once you realize it's not, and you get to work and then start doing what you have to do to succeed, that it is possible.
It's that positive male role model in the classroom.
Yeah.
Do you think there's enough of that?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, there can always be more. If we've got students that are putting their head down and not working hard, then I'll as hard as I try, I'll never reach every student. But maybe someone else stepping into that classroom and helping that kid is going to have the right key to turn that kid on. And yeah.
So finally, what would you say to someone who's considering teaching as a profession?
It's one of those jobs that at times you're just going to ask yourself, why are you doing it? But my dad is a teacher, and he loves to play golf, and he's always saying, I might go out there and swing a round of 100, but I'm going to hit that one shot that keeps bringing me back and having me enjoy this game. And I think it's the same in the classroom. You're going to have moments with those students where you can just see that you've changed that student's life. You've helped that student turn things around. And having taught for 8 years, I now have students that have graduated and are off and doing other things in their lives, and seeing where they are and having them come around and thank me and hang out with my kids, and it's really, really rewarding.
Well, congratulations to you on being named Teacher of the Year for the Twin Rivers Unified School District. We've been speaking with Kenneth Durham Jr. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.